Okay, how's that now? That's weird. It changed my microphone settings on me for no reason whatsoever. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. All right. Yeah, no, I had to go in and change my settings. It had switched my microphone to a different microphone. All right. That's better. We don't have to do the Charlie Chaplin version of GAC. How's everybody out there doing? You guys doing well today? Anybody else got some good and fun stuff going on? I hope so. I hope you all got fun and interesting things going on in your lives. All right. Let's see what we've got over here. I've had a couple questions come up in the Ask Loquitur and Patreon chat and some stuff like that that I really want to talk about today, just to kind of give everybody a refresher. People who watch my videos, especially newer players, might be some interesting stuff for you to think about. So I just want to reiterate some of that stuff and see what we can refresh people's memories on, so to speak. So one of the questions I get asked a lot is starting the early game, doing one of your paths, but I'm kind of stuck at this point where my Phoenix aren't really 7 stars, my Geos are coming online. What am I supposed to work on? Like, I can't work on these Jedi and these Geos and these Phoenix. I can't work on everything all at once. And I thought it was clear in the videos, but I guess it, just to make it crystal clear, the priority is in fleet. Fleet placement is really what we're chasing in the early game to try to get crystal income. So once Fleet Arena unlocks and you have Geos to work on, Geos are really what you're working on. Those are your pilots. That's what's going to get you fleet placement, their ships and those characters. And once you start getting, top 10, top 5, then you can worry about other characters. So one guy sent me a picture of his Phoenix, and he had like one Phoenix at 5-star, a couple 6-star, one 7-star, and said, I haven't even been able to get back to these guys because I'm just working on my Geos now. And my answer was, what's wrong with that? If that's where you got your Phoenix before the path kind of led you to the Geos, and now you're working on those for fleet, you can circle back around and finish out those Phoenix some other time. Just the way this guy played, he'd already passed up his Phoenix with his Geos. So there's no reason to, go crazy about, trying to do everything on the list. The whole point of the list is those are the characters that you want to invest in some way, shape, or form. If you have more energy left over or extra gear, those are the good characters to put it on. But what we're chasing with that very first opening path is, we're chasing galactic war victories and credit heist victories, simple stuff like that, and just all about fleet. So I've been giving people the answer. They ask a question, and I say, okay, are you top 5 in fleet? Yes? Then work on what you want to work on. If you're not top 5 in fleet, then you should be working on Tarkin, Geos, Vulture Droid, and you should just keep working on those. I had a message from one guy that said, I've already relicked 2 Geos and I'm just now breaking into the top 5. How much more do I have to invest in these Geos? And the answer is whatever it takes. If you end up with all 3 of your Geo pilots relicked in order to get early placement because just so many people want to spend money on the game, then you can decide whether to chase that or not, or whether to say, well, I just got into a bummer of a fleet shard and I'll settle for top 10. Or you work on your Geos to the point where you're getting top 5. And when you get your Malevolence, all of that still works anyway, so it just rolls right from your first capital ship into a capital ship that right now lasts you all the way into the end game. So think of it kind of like that algorithm. Am I top 5 in fleet? Yes. Then I can work on whatever I want to work on. Am I top 5 in fleet? No. Then I should be working on pilots. I had a recent question about mod work, and the question was, let's say I want to focus my account and get good speed substats, like, what's the algorithm for slicing? And I guess in looking back, I haven't made kind of a clear path for slicing, but I thought about it. And my algorithm really goes like this. If it's a gray mod and you slice it once and it doesn't hit speed, that's pretty much it. It's going to be a green mod with 1 hit in speed. And statistically, if you look at the statistics on that, the likelihood that a gray mod, we're just going to go for 3 speed hits, right? Let's say that the target is to get 3 upgrades in speed by the time we get it to a gold mod. So if you look at the statistics for a gray mod, the idea that you're going to hit 3 times into speed is about 4%. So out of 100 mods, if you slice them, and this is an expensive process, if you slice them, 4 out of 100, 1 out of every 25 will get at least 3 hits in speed. If you look at the statistics after the first hit, did my first hit go into speed? Did I get my second speed stat? And then you look at the statistics and you say, yes, I got a second speed stat on the first slice. Your chances go way up because now you have slice to blue, slice to purple, slice to gold, and you only have to hit 1 more. So your statistics go way, way up, getting 3 speed hits if you've already got 2 on green. If you don't have 2 on green, and I can calculate these out at some point and give people actual numbers, but if you miss that first slice going from gray to green, your statistics go from like 4% to 3% or 2.5% or something like that, which doesn't seem like that much of a difference. But on the one that hits, it goes from 4% to like 13% or something like that. I mean, no, that's not even right. 4% is the first hit, so it would go up to 13%. So that would go, if you missed the first hit, you would go down to like 11%. I should calculate these before I open my mouth, but so a gray mod with 1 speed stat that doesn't hit might be like 11% chance to get the other 2 by the time you get the slices, and the other one would go up to like a 24% chance or something like that. So basically, on that first slice, if you don't hit speed, you're not interested in continue because the slicing materials are just too valuable to continue pouring them into something that statistically is not going to work. And it's not so much that your statistics got that much worse on that first hit. It's that if you get it on that first hit, your statistics are so much better. So again, if you've got 4 gray mods that have 4 or 5 speed, and you slice all 4 of them, over a large number of mods, 1 out of every 4 is going to hit. So you throw away the other 3, and you just use your slicing materials on this other mod, the 1 out of 4. And the amount of slicing materials that you need goes down, and it really makes a difference. So let's say you get the second hit, and we go to blue, and we miss the hit on blue. Well, if we've already got 2 hits, even if we miss on blue, I'll probably still go to purple. But if it goes to purple, and it's still only got 2 hits in speed, or the relevant stat that you want, I mean, maybe you're trying to build an offense mod, so apply this however you will. But if I do that second hit up, or that third hit up to purple, and I'm still only at 2 stat boosts, then I'm not going to lock the mod. I'm going to unlock it if it's locked. It'll go into inventory. It can go on a character. I mean, a mod with, like, let's say 9 or 10 speed or whatever you've got on it, it's not a bad mod. You know, a level 15, 10 substat speed. I'm not going to slice it to gold, because now statistically the idea that I'm going to get that third hit is pretty low. Really, I want to try to get 4 hits if I can. So, yeah, I probably won't ever do the gold hit on it. If I go from 2 hits at green to 3 hits either at blue or purple, then I'll take it all the way to gold. And even if it doesn't hit, you know, a mod that has 3 hits in speed for the substat, you could take that to 6 dots, and then the exact same logic applies. If you go in, the first slice on a 6 dot mod is 10 of those slicing materials, so it's not horrible. But if you put that in and you don't get your 4th speed stat, just be done with that mod. That's it. It's done. If you do hit speed with that slice, well, then you can continue to 6-dot slice it and try to get your 5th hit. And that's how you optimize the use of your slicing materials, and you don't throw them away and waste them on things that aren't great. Thank you for your Gladiator guide. Yeah, Fellhammer's posted some pretty interesting pics. He's doing the Gladiator stuff. He's got his Darth Revan, and he posted a pic where he's like #2 in Arena, #1 in Fleet. And high placement in GAC too. It's a nice pic. It was awesome. Love to see that. Ferdinand says, Darth Loquitur, a lightsaber. Nice. Placebo Fan says, good evening. Alpha Male says, had to clear a noob hail. Another episode of bulk math mod percentages. Graphing those possibilities would be helpful for watchers. That's a good idea, Strize. You just kind of graph the possibilities. And you know, your probability is here. And the big thing is, especially at that green slice level, is the divergence in those probabilities. And you're right. You know, you can see on the graph where the chance goes down a little bit, but goes up a ton for the one that hits. And those are the ones that you wanna keep chewing on. So maybe with some of this stuff, I just need to redo my mod video and make a more engineering mod video. Would you guys like that? Would you guys like a redone mod video? It would probably be useful at this point. It's not necessarily that I've changed that much about how I'm working with my mods, but I've really had to think about what it is that I'm applying and how to explain it to people and put it into words and all that stuff. So I've worked a lot on developing the method, I guess. Fellhammer says, yes, please. So where do I start in a Gladiator path? I'm already at 1.6 and not sure how to go about it. So if you're already at 1.6, then just start with the Revan builds. Build the pre-requirements for, you know, skip the whole early part and don't worry about fleets and stuff like that. Whatever you've got for a fleet at 1.6, you're probably tied to that already. Whatever you're going for as your main capital ship with Get To, you've probably already decided. So if those are the case, those choices are already made, stick with those choices and just start with the Jedi Knight Revan unlock, go into the Darth Revan unlock, then into the Malak and into a Galactic Legend. That's kind of the path of the Gladiator. Just add it on to the account that you've got. Once you've got, let's say, the 2 Revans, and you've decided on your next big project, and you do at least, you know, like a GL, for example, then you kind of circle back around and you look at what you've got in your account, what you started to build. Maybe you've got a clone team that you worked on a little bit, and you want to circle back around to that clone team and do a gas journey. So that's what I would say. If you already got an account and you just want to add on a path, just start with the build for the main characters out of that path. Yes, mod guide. But you have to start in a character with no mods. Some people don't know how to make a complete set. Okay. All right. So maybe if I did a mod video, then I should do it in 3 parts. Kind of like we did the beginner's guide, right? And do like an introduction, what's going to be in the mod guide, and then just a beginner's explanation, what mods are, how they work, how the stat progression works, the random number generator, just all that stuff to explain it. And if people already know that, they can just click on a link and go to the second video. And then the second video will be kind of how to work with a mod inventory, sort it, build it, what to do there. And then the third video could be slicing, selling, and even maybe a little advice on how to buy mods out of the mod store, when that's a good idea, and all that. So yeah, maybe we could make it like a 3-part video and put all the beginner stuff in one place, make it real super simple, then the next part, and then finish it out. Yeah, that sounds like a good project. Maybe I'll start working on that. Madam Curry says, I was about to suggest that maybe a few parts on it, basic, in-depth, kind of the starter guide. Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's good. And people seem to like consuming it that way, where they can maybe watch one and then come back later and watch another one and rewatch the parts that are interesting for them. So give the people what they want, right? It's a great idea, but it won't work if you don't farm your mods. All right, we'll put that screen up. Farm your mods. Yeah, when JJ was on for the interactive, I thought that was probably about the biggest compliment he could have paid me, saying that he was impressed by my mod stuff. Because, you know, obviously that's something that I work hard on in the account, and for him to acknowledge that we had good mods, I was really proud of that. That was like the proud moment that I had in that stream. Was he a super cool guy or what? Like, like he was so super chill. He was, you know, losing the Nest battle, and I was like sitting here on the edge of my seat going, man, he's really got Nest under control. He's reducing her life. He's going to win this matchup. And then we just timed out right before he got it, and I was like, oh my, I was like, but he was a super cool guy. So that was fun. That was a little clumsy getting it started up, but yeah. I'm glad we got to do that interactive. That was fun. It was fun for me. I hope it was entertaining for you guys. Interesting. I've watched all your beginner guides at least 2 or 3 times. And the Path of the Gladiators about 10 times. Having a mod guide to be so helpful. Yeah. I need to watch that VOD. Sounded like a fun thing as a whole. He was very British about the whole thing. Yeah, and at the end, I mean, I kind of felt bad because I still had teams to go and I still wanted to play, but I didn't kind of want to be rubbing his face in it or whatever, you know. But he's like, no, that's cool. I'm cheering you on. So that was nice. All right, just to explain the title, I'm going to tell a personal story. So in between the Loquitur account and the main account, I'm going to tell a story about learning to fight, and how that it's not going to be a story about physical violence. The story itself is rooted in a real fight, but we're going to talk more about life lessons and some things like that. I just want to share with y'all, and you know, if you don't want to listen to that kind of stuff, y'all can take it as an intermission, or you can hang around and listen to my story. But I kind of just want to talk about that today a little bit. All right, so Grand Arena on this Loquitur. All right, let's see. So we got the squad arena battles done. We probably got fleet arena battles up by now, right? We got some fleet arena battles to do. No, I don't see it. 3 critical hits in a row. Troopers should be able to do that. The Chosen One. Still got to kill things with Vader. Yeah, Dooku, Padme, and Jedi Knight Anakin. I'm probably not going to get that one. All right, 1 undersized, and we complete that feat. So, last opponent, we all saw that. We're not going to go review that. Oops. Let's go in here to what looks to be a Russian name. Not exactly sure here. Scorpion's team. His stats, he's 2.3, so we're fighting up by almost 600,000 galactic power. Quite a lot. These early matchups seem to be a pretty high disparity. In fleet, we've got a couple good ships here. His Geos are Gear 12. Not much synergy. His Houndstooth is down here, so I'm not too afraid of his fleets. No premium capital ship. So I figure we have a definite advantage on fleet, both on offense and defense. So we went ahead and put our negotiator on defense. Over here in his characters, he's got Darth Revan, he's got Padme, Jedi Knight Revan, Vader. And he's got the Jedi Knight Anakin up to 7, and a Bastila. So I'm expecting him to bring the Padme on offense. I'm expecting maybe he puts the Revan on defense. Geos I expect to find on defense, some old Republic stuff on defense. So I got to save enough offense to get through that stuff. But overall, I feel like his account is pretty spread out in the middle. Speed-wise, 323 on his Revan, which is pretty good for this galactic power. His Padme is 301. It's pretty fast for a Padme. 286 on his Bastille of Fallen. And then Grandmaster Yoda is pretty quick, 266. And then from there we drop off pretty quickly. So he's got a few fast characters, but overall the feeling of like having a fast account, like a lot of speedy characters, it's not too scary. And this Revan we can get over with the troopers. He doesn't have a full relic team. If you have troopers and you're looking at Darth Revan and trying to counter Darth Revan, the big question that you have to ask is, where is the Sith Empire trooper? If this guy is built out to relic levels for their team, it's really hard to kill him without using the Veer's mass assist, which makes the counter difficult. Until you get up to Dark Trooper, then it's not a problem, right? If you've got a Dark Trooper in your trooper team, then it's not an issue. But for just a regular trooper team with like a ranged trooper, or like me with a snow trooper, this guy is kind of the cornerstone. But if he tries to put together a Darth Revan team, he's going to have two good characters, and then he's going to have, you know, some lesser characters. And the troopers can then use to get turn meter to keep taking turns, and I should be in decent shape to counter his Revan if he puts it on defense. So we built a back wall defense out of Padme and the Negotiator, and things have worked out pretty much just as I'd hoped. My thought was he'd clear both the front zones, which he did. He cleared those in one battle. He cleared these in one battle. So he got everything in one hit, and then he got stopped in the back zones. So that positions us pretty well with where we thought that we were going to be. He did put Padme on defense. Got Ewoks here. We'll Dooku these Ewoks. We've been pretty successful with Dooku and Wat Tambor taking on the Ewoks. Probably have to Vader these Geos or trooper them. We'll see. We'll see what we unlock for his back wall. See if this back wall is a Revan. Or if we fail the Padme, we may have to bring in Vader to try to clean this up. This is a dicey battle for Padme because there's characters there that she can kill very easily. And if we kill them at the wrong time and we trigger Anakin to go, then yeah, it'll make us very sad. And we don't want to be sad, right? So what was that squad? I mean, I know what the squad is, but what if I played these other characters? What would that look like? The mass hit would probably take out Vander or Chewbacca anyway. Yeah, so no, that's not gonna do me any good to try to cheese it. Okay, so we're gonna start off here against Padme. And the key is we have to try not to kill Kenobi too early. But if we get this down to just Padme and Anakin, we can come in and clean that up pretty easily. So not too worried about it. We're just going to work on Anakin all that we can. And we're going to keep it in manual so that we can try to keep some control over these attacks. As long as we're attacking Kenobi out of turn, he should get protection up, and that should allow us to do some clever things. Yeah, we really need to trigger Kenobi to taunt. There we go. We got him taunting. Okay, we didn't kill the Padme. That's good. All right. See, when we're getting all these counterattacks on the characters, we don't want that. We want Kenobi to be triggered. He's not doing his job over there. He's sleeping on the job. All right. Well, they get protection up. I can't crit them, which means I can't trigger Kenobi. It means all kinds of negative things. Maybe I ought to just hit Kenobi. No, I don't think that makes sense. All right, let's do that. We'll just keep ramping. Just have to have the timing work out. Just have to have the timing work out where he doesn't have protection up when I attack him. All right, keep working, Nest. Keep working. Yeah. Come on, Kenobi, get in there. Get your taunt up. Get your taunt up, buddy. Kenobi, slacking. We're actually going to have to hit somebody and make him taunt so that we can get the protection off of Anakin. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Let's go over here on Kenobi. Okay. Let's go back here on 5s. All right, now he's got the area effect up, so I can't do it next time. All right, take that. No, do your area effect, dude. Ooh, that was a good hit. All right. Oh, resisted. Nothing for me there. Okay. All right. All right, all right, all right. Come on, Nest. Get him. Not enough. Close, though. We're close. "47 seconds left. Not looking good for us. Let's get her out of here. All right. Just got to hope for some fortuitous timing here right at the end. I'm not going to get it. Yeah, we are. Maybe. Maybe. Yes! Got it. Oh, come on. Come on. Get in there. Get in there, Nest. Get in there. Not enough time. Not just barely not enough time. Yeah, if he's got a big Kenobi with the Zeta, that fight is easier, but this weak Kenobi makes that fight hard for Nest. All right. But just single Padme. There's got to be something we could clean that up with. Let's do Dooku with Watt. Kill us some Ewoks. Catch up on chat. All right. Lol says it's been a while. Am I subscribed to AP Gains? Yes. Life lessons: come for the gaming, stay for the content. That's funny. School's been taking all your time, lol. That's cool. Who is Nest in lore? If you watch the Solo movie, the Enfys Nest is kind of the antagonist for the characters at first, but then you find out later that she's actually like the start of the rebellion. So Enfys Nest turns out to be a woman, and she's a super cool character in my opinion. Interesting person in the game. Come on, Nest faster. Put it on auto. Auto basic, no time left. Yeah, no. Hey DL, I just relicked my Anakin and looked at your mod set for him, and it was a lot of defense main stats. Can you say why? Oh, you looked on my main account? Sasha Hughes, and you looked at my main account, Anakin. Okay, so what I did on my main account, Anakin, he's in the team with Cat right now. And Cat gives 50% more health. And so what I did with my Anakin is I made my Anakin into a tank. I put a ton of health on him. I put a ton of defense stats on it. So the defense stats coming on top of health, where Padme's giving him bonus health, and then Cat is giving him 50% more health. He has tons of hit points, tons of defense. She also gives him plus 50% offense, so I don't need to have an offense set on him. So on my main account, my Anakin is built like that only because he's in a Padme team with Cat, and I do not want my opponent to be able to kill my Anakin. I want Anakin to be a brick wall in that team. And he still does damage because of her boost to damage. Yeah. So that's why. Is it possible to do the Fleet Material Challenge with a level 1 Tarkin? Don't the Geos fit better under Home 1? Would that make for a better early game team? It doesn't, because you need the Executrix anyway for the Fleet Material Challenge. That's the only capital ship that you can use. And yes, you can use it with a level 1 Tarkin. And yes, Geos work well with Home 1. That's all true. But once you've built the Home 1, what's the point of Admiral Akbar? He doesn't fit in with anything. I mean, Tarkin, at least you've got he's a requirement for the Galactic Legend for Sith Eternal Emperor. So for my account, for sure, I had to build him anyway, so there's no reason to use a different capital ship as my main ship. But it's mostly the fact that you need that Executrix for the material challenges anyway that makes it make the most sense to use that character. Wow, Elder says no. Just no. All right, getting in here against these Ewoks. Got a Paplu to deal with over here. Looks like we're going to deal with this Paplu before he even gets to do anything. He's out. He's back. All right, get out of stealth, boys. We need some counterattacks. All right, let's get this Elder under control here. Dodging that first shock was pretty annoying. Oh, I did it again. He had dodge on that time. He had foresight. Aimlessly clicking buttons. All right. That was good. That was a good counterattack there. Let's get him. Against too much stealth is not good though, right? All right, Low Gray. You're out. Just got the Wickedy left. 59 banners. Not horrible. Tarkin gives you Zetas. I thought that would be the better one. Gotcha. That made me laugh when I saw that. Yeah. If you go into my Discord, we actually have a tank Anakin graphic. There's like a little Anakin tank. It's pretty funny. All right, what are we going to use to beat this Padme? We need things that just take a turn. We could do like Nute, this, just leftovers and scraps, right? We can take in garbage and beat Padme. Can't we? I'll need Palpatine if we find Revan on that back wall. Single target damage. Single target damage. We don't want assists anywhere. We don't want things that make people assist. We can't mess with her turn meter because she's Padme. I don't think we're going to use him for anything. We'll throw him in to resurrect Nute if she decides to kill Nute for no reason. Probably don't need that many characters. We got to underdog something anyway, right? Isn't that the case? We just did. We just underdogged something. Ooh, let's go complete that feat and get that feat onto the next feat so that we can get credit for our next underdog. All right. And then we'll have the last undersized enemy feat going. Okay. Try this again. Go in against Padme. Take the Nute. Take the Tarkin. And the Thrawn. And then we're just going to take... That's it. That's it, right? Because, I mean, we fracture her and this is just over. It's got to just be fracture and done. Fracture. Extortion. And then we just do damage. Do more extortion. And pass this over to Tarkin. He'll take a turn. We'll get a turn right away. Refracture. Yeah. All right. All right. Clean Padme up with fracture. No problem. What do we got on the back wall here? Easy days. Easy days. All right. Let's see what we can do up front here. We got Luke. That's Rebels, right? I know somebody that loves to kill Rebels. I know somebody. I know a guy. Graham Case says, good morning. Guard, overkill. Yeah. Ewok Scout is the thickest. Who is the best character in the game? Liam Branch says, who's the best character in the game? I don't know. Maybe Galactic Legend Kenobi is the best character in the game right now. Probably the case. All right, let's kill some rebels. We have a lot of people here in chat. We don't have that many likes. For all you folks out there who have not hit your like saber, that means you. I'm disappointed in you. Makes me sad. So many people, so few likes. The troopers not going to do their job if we don't get these likes in here, boys and girls. Take out your like sabers. Use them. Smash the like button. Crush it. Thrash it. Turn it inside out. Melt it. Whatever it is that your choice of method for killing like buttons, I would appreciate it if you would apply it now. Get it. Get on in there. Get that like button going. Helps me, helps the channel. Makes you feel good about yourself. Powers up the troopers. Can't run these troopers without likes. You guys know that by now. Troopers mean likes. Likes mean success with troopers. The showing is not so good. We're still 10 short. We're 10 short of where we need to be. We're at 80%. 80% efficiency on troopers. Not that I think they're going to lose against Gear 12 Geos, or at least I hope they wouldn't, but give me the stuff, guys, please. Ladies and gents, power up these troopers. Apply your lightsabers today. Unless, of course, you happen to be driving and listening while you're driving, then don't touch your phone. Pay attention to the road. Do not look away from the road. Your job is to drive if you're driving. That's the only excuse. That's the only viable excuse for not clicking the like button. All right. Well, looks like we're close. We're at 90% efficiency now. Just a few more to go. All right, I'll keep over here whining and crying to see if we can get these troopers up and running. Do not drive in lightsaber. That's right. That's right. For everybody, I will tell you, man, this is serious stuff. When you're driving, it's your job to drive. Drive your car. Don't think about keeping yourself safe. Don't think about, man, I need to not hit other cars because of me or whatever. Think about this. If you do something stupid and you hit a car full of kids and you kill somebody else's children, what are you going to do then? That's what ruins your life, okay? It's not about you when you're driving. It's about all those other people out on the road, and it's just not fair to them for you to be an idiot. So pay attention when you're driving. When you're driving, it is your job to drive. All right. When will YouTube add support for dual-wielding lightsabers? Oh, man, that's a good question. We should have 2 like buttons, especially for people with dual lightsabers or double-bladed lightsabers. All right, we're at 98% efficiency. We're going to go ahead and get on in there and see what can be done. All right, clicked us just over the limit right as we got in, so we're good to go. All right, we're going to take this. We're going to put it on Stark because he's got to soak up some counterattacks. We'll put up buffs that gives us lots of turn meter and gives us more crit chance and crit damage. Carve the armor on the Geo Brute so that this mass assist is sure to kill him. And then we'll just do area effect, area effect. We didn't even get to our third area effect. 60 banners. Good stuff. Get to the 69 likes, baby. Get to the 69th precinct. 69th like. All right, we got a negotiator formation here, except it's an endurance. And if I remember right, this is a real mediocre. Yeah, it's not bad. I guess his mace is what, gear 10? And this is relict Anakin. So we just have to be careful. We can't touch anything but the Hound's Tooth until it's the spy's turn to go. We'll take in 3 ships with the standard 2 reinforcements. We'll underdog this. If you're fighting this fight, just remember, hitting a ship that is not Hound's Tooth feeds turn meter to Hound's Tooth, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep Hound's Tooth from going until you get your spy up and ready to go. So here we go. We get the capital ship, see? We get the capital ship early, and if we do the area effect, then he'll get taunt. So we just do the basic there, then we can target his ETA 1, do the mass assist, get Anakin out of here. Now we can go ahead and just put a beating down on Ahsoka. He's going to go next anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now that he's got taunt up, his tenacity goes way down, and we can stun him and debuff him. We're going to go ahead and bring in... we're going to bring in the Plo right away. Clear all this stuff off. Give ourselves some turn meter. I think we can just muscle our way right through this Hound's Tooth. Get over onto this Ahsoka. She's got the counterattack, which is a bit annoying, but it won't be too bad. We're going to put taunt on him with a little extra protection. Just try to save ourselves from losing too many banners somewhere else. Yeah, we'll just mass assist and get him out of here. We'll do this. It gets us turn meter and offense up. And then finish out the battle. 61 banners. 63. Better than I thought. Oh, because of the 2 ships that we didn't bring in. Yeah, that's because it's underdogged. All right, that's good. So that's the GAC. So we're winning against our opponent this round. We got that zone, and he didn't. Here, we're just going to go with Mon Mothma. We're going to bring in the full team. Figure that's a pretty high banner win. Even though it's not underdogged, it's still going to be, still should be a full banner win here. Speaking of driving and not paying attention, watched a stream where the guy played a driving school simulator and had to take a drink every time he made it an error. It was highly educational. All right, this is the steal turn meter one, so we'll steal the turn meter from Chopper. We're going to target Ezra. We will give turn meter over to K2. All right, just bring him in, start doing damage. Get our extra player, throw a grenade. Those debuffs are nice. Shoot Hera. The control on this one. All right, there we go. Oh, that was good damage. If we had the Zeta on him, she would have probably been dead. Because we've already killed one person, so he would have done that attack a second time. All right, let's blind everybody. Or let's just blind one person. That's fine too. All right, just keep chipping away at them. Got these little rebel pilots here from my Cassian's U-Wing. Steal turn meter from this Chopper again. He's got lots of turn meter over there. That lets Jin go pretty much 2 turns in a row. Wow. Looks like we're going to have to kill this Chopper before we can kill that Zeb. It's crazy how much protection he's getting back. Or life, I mean. Alright, roll the grenade. Get this guy out of here. Get his passive out of here more than anything. We'll just save Zeb till last. Put it on auto. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Here we go again with the big damage. And K2 wasn't taunting. He wasn't doing his job. Alright, get on in there, finish this up. Should be 60 banner win. Clean. Geos or Rebel Troopers, HWI better. Geos or Rebel Troopers. Who's better? If you put them both on defense, something like Traya is a good counter against both of them. Something like Vader is a good counter against both of them. So putting them both on defense gives your opponent some tough decisions. If he lacks ways to deal with Geos, and you put both of those teams on defense, it's going to be a struggle. On offense, the Geos and the Rebel Troopers both have a similar concept where they have a whole bunch of health and life regeneration. So the Geos are actually a very functional offensive team where you can get 60 banners quite easily. And so are the Rebel Fighters. If you pick one team or the other to do, the Geos are better because the Geos have ships. Rebel Fighters in general all have ships too. But they are, let's say, 1 Geo pilot per ship, and Rebels are usually, you know, a couple Rebels per ship. So the Geos are pretty much a more functional team. But if you want to build a Rebel fleet for some reason, then building Mon Mothma and making a Rebel fighter team makes sense. Can you have a semi-decent trooper team without Piet? Yes, Midge, but that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a semi-decent trooper team. Piet gives 1 extra buff every time somebody takes a turn. That gives 10% turn meter through Veers. So it's more about the turn meter than it is really about Piet's skills and all that stuff. But the Emperor's Trap, allowing you to bridge the gaps and always keep that turn meter train going, that's what makes the current trooper team so nasty. So the troopers were already an okay team. You know, a B minus kind of team without Piet. But with Piet, it's a team, you know. Very good team. All right, so let's pick a screen here. Maybe pick the Farm Your Mods screen. I'm going to tell you a story about learning to fight. And then I'm going to tell you like some life lessons and things that I learned and where that led me to and how I still use that logic today. And we'll see if it helps anybody. You know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just be a dumb story on YouTube. But start a discussion. You guys can tell me what you think. It's more a story about learning to stand up for yourself than it is about fighting. But it's amazing how many applications I've had about this one simple thing. So here we go. Sit right back and tell a tale. When I was a kid, maybe let's say 8, 9 years old, in large part, I just did what the other kids did. You know, I think a lot of people are like that. A lot of kids are like that. You do what you see the other kids doing. And for example, we had a teacher at our school that was physically handicapped, and we used to make fun of her. And I think I made fun of her along with everybody else. And we had a girl in our school that was mentally handicapped, and she got held back a few grades. And by the time I was in, let's say, 3rd grade, she'd already been held back twice, and she was still in the grade above me, so she was like 3 years older than me. And, you know, kids that are 3 years older than you when you're that age are also quite a lot bigger than you. And unfortunately, I'll say I probably picked on her too with the rest of the kids because that's what we all did. And I just did what they did. And then one day, I was near the basketball court, and this other kid, a couple years older than me, he had been in the grade with this girl the year before, and then she got held back, so now he was a grade ahead. He was like, I don't remember, 2 or 3 years older than me. He decided he wanted to play basketball, and she was on the basketball court, and he just went over and started being just outright mean to her to make her leave the basketball court. Some other kids started making fun of her. She didn't really understand what was going on. She just kind of stood there. And I think that's really the first time I remember in my life having this triggered, like, justice kind of response that regardless of what the other kids did or what I had done before, what was happening right in front of me was wrong. And I wanted to do something about it. But I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of stood there, paralyzed, like, this is ridiculous. Should I go get the teacher? Well, I don't want to be a tattletale. Tattletales, you know, don't do well in school. So I just stood there. And, you know, he was like bouncing the basketball off of her and doing all kinds of weird stuff. And so she left. She finally figured out what was going on. She left the basketball court and he played basketball, and I just stood there, you know, mad. That's all I could do. So then I thought about it, and my grandfather was a great storyteller. And when I say he was a great storyteller, let me be clear. The man did not let the truth stand in the way of a good story. So anybody who listens to stories, and even stories like mine, it's colored by years, it's colored by judgment, it's colored by entertainment. So every story contains some of the truth, but a good story is a good story. And maybe parts of it aren't quite exactly the way things happened, but my grandfather was famous for that. And my grandmother would say, that's not how it happened. And my grandfather would say, yeah, but this is more fun, right? Like this version of the story is more entertaining, right? So he was a great storyteller. But apparently, at some point in his life, he had also been a Golden Gloves boxer in his youth. So I thought, this is what I'll do. I'm going to go to my grandfather, and he's a Golden Gloves boxer, and he's going to teach me how to box, right? And I'm going to have a boxing match with this kid if it happens again. So I said, all right. Next time I saw my grandfather, I said, hey, I want to learn how to box. and he had boxing gloves hanging up in the garage, and I knew he had like 6 different sizes of boxing gloves. There was probably some that would fit me. He said, okay, why do you want to learn how to box? And I said, well, I didn't want to tell him. So I said, well, I want to learn how to box. He was a cagey old guy, so of course he knew that wasn't the truth. And he said, look, son, tell me, why? So I told him what happened, and I told him that, I didn't want this kid bullying the handicapped girl, and that was something that I wanted to be able to do something about. So he said, well, you don't want to learn how to box, you want to learn how to fight. And I said, okay, I thought boxing was fighting. What's the difference? And my grandfather said, fighting is completely different. Fighting's different. And yeah, boxing is fighting, but there's a lot more to boxing and a lot less to fighting. He said, in fact, I can teach you everything you need to know about fighting with 2 things. All right, I'm eager, right? Like fighting is easy. There's only 2 things I need to know, and there's like, I don't know what, like a hip throw, like an uppercut, like something cool. And my grandfather said the first thing you need to know about fighting is you're going to get hurt. If you pick a fight, you will get hurt. And most people don't think about that ahead of time. They pick a fight. The first time they get hurt, they have a natural physical response to getting hurt. They get punched in the face, and your body tells you to stop whatever it is that's getting you punched in the face, and you lose all of your thought processes, and you run away or do whatever it is that you do. So, yeah, the first thing is understand you're going to get hurt, accept it, get hurt. Don't let that deter you. If you're going to quit when you get hurt, you can't pick the fight. I said, okay, that's one thing. Lol has to go. All right, see you later. Leaving in the middle of the story. He said the second thing is you decide when the fight is over. And if you never decide that the fight is over until the point where you get knocked unconscious, well, then your body decides the fight is over for you and the fight is over. But yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know about fighting. If it's a fight worth fighting, you're going to get hurt, and you decide when it's over. That's all you need to know. And I said, well, it doesn't, like, how do I punch? How do I, whatever. So my grandfather put a pair of boxing gloves on me and hung up a burlap bag full of sand and said, figure it out. Hit the sandbag for a while with the gloves. And I was out there for hours, just hours and hours and hours trying to hit that bag with the boxing gloves. I don't feel like I learned a thing. I hung the boxing gloves up, and when I left, my grandfather was smiling. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. I know why he was smiling. So I went back to school prepared to pick a fight. I knew how to fight now. That's all I needed to know. So I went back to school, and like a lot of these things, nothing happened for weeks and weeks. Kid time passes differently than adult time, right? Like a little bit of time takes a long time when you're a kid. So weeks went by, nothing happened. But then, sure enough, there came a point that same bully decided he was going to pick on the handicapped girl, and it happened again, and I was there, and I was ready. I was ready to fight. Now, in my kid's memory, I still remember it. I still remember calling him out and telling him to stop. And he turns around, and he's like 9 feet tall, and his shadow is like completely covering me. And I'm looking up like at the sky to see this kid's head, and obviously he's not that big, but it's a kid's memory, right? Like I'm remembering this from when I was 9. So, if he was like 6 or 7 inches taller than me, he looked like the Jolly Green Giant. And you have this moment where you think, oh, this was dumb. This was, what am I doing? Right? And I wasn't going to throw the first punch, and he stood there and, he's running his mouth, and I'm telling him, leave her alone. And this guy's MO was to push you down. So he came over and he pushed me down and knocked me down onto the ground. Man, I got back up off the ground, and I just came at him, and my little arms were windmilling, and I was trying to hit him, and he just knocked me down again. And I jumped back up. I came back at him. The fight wasn't over for me yet. And he threw me down on the ground again, and he scuffed up my knees and whatever. And I just got back up and I ran at him again. And 4 or 5 times of this, and I hadn't even come close to hitting him. Hadn't even come close. But the fight had changed. Like the look in his eyes was different. And he was looking at me like, what is wrong with this kid? This kid is crazy, right? So I don't know. I probably got knocked down 6, 7 times. And I got back up again and I ran at him again and he just took off running. He just took off for the teacher. He's like running for the teacher. He's like, this kid is crazy. And he just takes off running. Now he's running from me and I'm running after him. And he stops. He's right in front of the teacher that's out there to police the recess, right? She just hadn't been looking our way, but now she's definitely looking right at him. And I roll up on him and I just hit him in the hit him in the ribs as hard as I could, which I imagine wasn't nothing for him. But socking another kid in the ribs right in front of the teacher is a pretty dumb thing to do. So yeah, I ended up getting in a lot of trouble for that. I did. But now let's talk about all of the things that happened afterwards, right? So, number one, had I been in a fight, it really wasn't even in a fight. Really, all I'd learned to do is stand up for myself. I just learned that there comes a point in time where you don't stand back. You don't just sit there with your fists and be mad. You do something. You take control, and you stand up for yourself. And in this case, I was standing up for somebody else because I had this sense of justice where she shouldn't have to deal with that. But yeah, stand up for something you believe in. And I got in trouble for it. Fine. I think I even got suspended or got detention or whatever it was. But my mom got mad at me, and she ended up talking to my grandfather, who was her father. And then everything was okay. Like he had explained to her something about it, and like she never said another word. And the reason my grandfather was smiling, can you guys guess? That first time when he gave me those boxing gloves and I was out there just swinging at this sandbag for hours, why was he smiling when I left? What is it that he thought he knew? We'll see how many people can get this right in the chat. You know, because that's a big lesson to take out of this whole thing. And then, you know, I'm going to talk to you guys about like how I've expanded on this fight theory and how I use it professionally in my career and like just a massive amount of lessons that I've learned and that I've shared with other people throughout the years and help, you know, make a difference for some people. Loquitur, the bad boy. Persistence. He knew you would stand up for yourself. You knew when to stop. Yeah. He knew I wasn't going to quit, right? So I put the gloves on and I didn't come back into the house like 10 minutes later going, okay, you know, I'm done or I'm tired or whatever. I stayed out there grinding away at it, just grinding away and trying to figure out anything I could figure out until it was literally time for me to go home and I had to hang up the gloves and he had to take me back to my house, right? So he knew, like, I wasn't going to give up. And he later told me that the reason he'd been successful as a boxer was exactly that. He didn't give up. He just kept grinding along until the other guy wore himself out and then he'd win. So yeah, he saw that persistence in me. He saw that I wasn't going to quit and that I was actually serious about trying to learn. So yeah, he had that grin. I still remember it, right? Yeah. And was he proud? He may have been proud. Think about that in today's context, though. How many parents would actually willingly teach their kids to fight, knowing that the kid plans to go to school and get in a fight? See, that's something that I think, I don't know. I mean, kids need to know how to stand up for themselves, and that's really all he taught me. He didn't teach me how to beat anybody up. He didn't teach me how to break bones or do anything weird. He just taught me to stand up for myself. So over the years, this has evolved, and here's how I use it for work. I think there's 3 kinds of fights that you pick. The first kind of fight is no fight at all. You assess the situation, You think it may be a battle worth having, and you just decide it's not worth getting hurt. If I pick a fight, I'm going to get hurt. I don't want to get hurt. I don't care about it that much. In my personal life, my wife will come in and she'll say something, and I won't agree with it. But it's not worth picking a fight. It's not worth getting hurt. It's not worth hurting her. It's not even worth it. So before the fight even starts, total conciliation. I know that I'm not going to pick the fight. Okay, fine. This is the way we do it, right? And same thing at work. Boss says, here's a new project. I think to myself, people aren't going to like that. People aren't going to want to do it that way. Is it worth a fight? It's not worth a fight. Okay, on board, implement the project. Let's go. Let's see how it works. Don't even bother, right? Don't bother with the middle part of indecision. Don't sit there mad. Pick it or pick not to fight at all. The second kind of fight is a fight to the bitter end. And that's where you truly believe in something and you say, I'm going to pick this fight. I don't care if I get hurt. I don't care if I get fired. I'm just going to fight it over and over and over again until something changes or until I'm so beat up I have to quit. It's worth it. It's worth it to go all the way to the end. And there's a third fight that's kind of in the middle that I feel like it's the anti-bully syndrome, right? Because sometimes people are just used to getting what they want and they say, here's what I want. And if you give them just one good push, if you just let them know that you're not going to be pushed around and say, hey, I ain't going anywhere, right? Do you want to fight? What you'll find is that the other person may default to that conciliatory position. I didn't realize you felt so passionately about that. Okay, no need to fight. Let's do it your way, right? So some things are worth one good push. Just one good push. For example, when coronavirus hit, our company came out with a policy that all time clocks were out of service, right? Because if you walk up to a time clock and you touch the time clock or you touch the stuff around the time clock, the next person that comes in touches it. The time clock becomes a point where people can spread all kinds of germs. So we said, okay, the supervisors are going to record your arrival time. They're going to log people in manually. We're going to quit using time clocks. Well, within a month, that was a mess. And by then, we'd secured some good disinfectant. We'd made protocols for cleaning. And I called back my boss and I said, I didn't say, hey, I want to talk to you about this cleaning policy or whatever. It's one good push. So I said, all right, here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to put the time clock back in service. I have a cleaning routine for it. I've got hand wipes out there. I can control the spread of germs at my time clock. Here's how I'm going to do it. I want to put it back in service. And my boss comes to me and says, no, the company policy is the time clocks are out of service. We're holding that as a policy for our group. That's it. What do you do now? That was my push. I pushed. He pushed back. Not worth the fight. Not worth it. I stood my ground, tested him, saw where he was at on it. He felt strongly about it. Okay, I take up that position. Fine, that's where we're at. I've also had it be successful where somebody will come and say, okay, I've recalculated some things and here's what I think your new capacity is. And I say, nope, this guy's in training. He's going to move. He's moving to a different job. I have to retrain a new operator. My capacity is not going up on the line until the new guy is trained. There's things that I know that you don't. This is the situation. And I've had that one good push come back and, okay, we'll leave you where you're at, whatever. So that strategy works out well. And honestly, in the last 5 years, I can say there's only one fight that I've picked that I'm going to fight to the bitter end. And that's the company's attendance policy, I think, has some parts in it that aren't fair. And I bring it up over and over and over again. And my boss told me, I'm sick of hearing about this. Quit bringing it up. And I told him, I'm going to bring it up until I can convince you of the validity of what I'm talking about. And, he's sick of hearing it, but every opportunity I get, I bring it up over and over and over again. And I know it annoys him, and I know it costs me something as a person. But it's something that I believe in, and I'm just going to grind away at it until it either gets changed or I get fired or whatever. I don't care, right? Because, and again, it's one thing in 5 years that I've picked that I'm willing to grind out to the bitter end. That's it. And so far, it really hasn't cost me that much. So, and if you ever get into a physical fight, it's the same thing, right? You decide to fight, you're going to get hurt. If one push doesn't work and stop the conflict, you got to decide whether to engage. And then if you engage, you got to grind it out until you say you're going to quit. So there you go. What do you guys think about that? Fight theory. How to fight, how to stand up for yourself. Catch up on chat. Alpha Male says, I mentally fight people nowadays. Midge says, the world's gone soft. Yeah, it has. It has gone soft in the way that people are afraid of conflict. Like, some conflict isn't horrible. Like taking two contrary positions to argue out which is the better way to do things is sort of, fundamentally a thing that was decided by the Greeks to be one of the greatest arts of all time, debate, right? And people don't want to engage in debate. They want to be conciliatory, or they want to, go slander the other person on the internet where they can't be seen. My grandpa sounds nice. My grandpa was a horrible person. That's a story for another time, but he was a man of business, and business first and family second, and did a lot of things throughout his life that were selfish and damaging, and you don't know that stuff when you're a kid, right? You figure it out later when you're looking back and remembering the things that happened, and you go, man, he was not a nice person. My dad did some boxing, and his advice, you pick the biggest guy and punch him as hard as you can in the face. Yeah, and it's funny how it works. So which fight do we fight with CG? I don't know. I don't have any really big fights with CG right now. Make a frickin' squad for ships. I'm so sick of having to pick my ships every single time I go into ships. It's ridiculous. Pick squad, make a squad screen for ships, for crying out loud. Good Lord. You live in Texas. I doubt you'll end up in a physical fight that easily. If you do the dirty, hairy expression while you put your hand in your pocket. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's the fight story. I hope maybe you guys enjoyed that, or maybe it gives you some things to think about. I think the moral, the biggest thing that I learned out of it isn't the steep end of figuring out how to finish a fight. I think it was more the front end of the fight and deciding really whether or not you're going to fight. And once you've made that decision, it's easy, right? You can figure out the things where you're going to go along and get along and just not bother, not even bother, not waste your energy on it. Just move on. All right. Let's buy some stuff out of the shop here real quick, and then we'll jump into this Grand Arena for the main account. Nope, we got a feat up. What's the feat? 10 squad arena. We can finish that out. Still got things to kill with Vader. You guys kill 6 things, so we definitely have to kill things with Vader. I'm putting Padme on defense a lot, so I may not get this feat. Alright. Lord Vader I don't have. So pretty much just undersize and clear territories. I think that's all we got. Alright, our last opponent. Check this out, guys. Look at this Executor. Holding ground. Being big, being mean, being frustrating for the opponent. Takes one shot at it and quits. This surprised me. I figured my back wall would hold, but he quit fighting at the crew. It's probably just that I had a full clear, and once he got to the Executor and couldn't beat it, I think he just quit playing against characters. So I think he beat these first two teams, came over here, fought these fights, and then just gave up. But but yeah, so we got the hold there for the win. I got my cuz to join the game, and I'm making him work on Imperial Troopers. Haha, that's a good choice. Imperial Troopers are a good choice first up. Alright, so over here we've got Rey. We got Rey's Galactic Legend Rey that we could see right away, so we've got the Raddus here. We got a Finalizer at 4 stars. He's working on that. Got a Negotiator. No Malevolence. So with no Malevolence, I mean, Malevolence is the ship that has the highest chance of doing something against the Executor. And without a Malevolence even on the field, I feel like the Executor is almost unbeatable on defense. Maybe he could two-shot it. We'll see. Here we've got Rey as a Galactic Legend, Jedi Master Luke. Whenever I see JML, I'm very reluctant to put my SLKR on defense. Because if he saves his Master Luke until he sees my SLKR, SLKR is basically a free win against this JML team. So it kind of puts a wrench in my plans. So I expect to see Rey on defense. I expect him to take JML on offense. But it means that I can't put any of my Galactic Legends on defense. But that's okay. So he's got General Skywalker here. Also Jedi Training Rey, of course. Jedi Knight Luke, Darth Revan. Vader, CLS. Shakti, tons of good leaders here. Of course, he's done the gas journey, so he's got a bunch of these characters in the middle. We've got the Wampa. Got a Relic 1 Kylo here, just hanging out. So he's got some low relic characters to support things, a bunch of Gear 12 stuff. So that's what his account looks like. So basically, it's just the decision not to put a Galactic Legend onto defense. Alright, and he's already played, so we can take a look at the stuff. We put some banner stealing teams in front of ships, but, you know, the worst of my defenses, just kind of let him have it. We put good teams up front here. And I think he did the same thing. I think he came in, played against these ships, fought against the Finalizer, and just said, whatever, done. So, yeah. Or the Executor, I'm sorry. I think I said Finalizer. But yeah, the Executor being a monster on defense, completely demotivating people to play. That's excellent. So we do have the Rey here. We have the Rey with the Resistance team. And I think with this team, Sith Eternal is the best bet, I believe. I think that's better than SLKR for this lineup. We've got the Triumvirate kind of on defense here with Thrawn and Wampa thrown in. That's interesting. Baby First Order team here. Looks like he's going for SLKR and he's just parking everything at Relic 1. So we got that team we got to deal with. Probably use Triumvirate there. We like Triumvirate in that matchup. Got Mon Mothma here. Probably nest that. Do the Revan here. We'll do I don't know. We might do Rey here, but we might skip R2-D2. Underman it. Just leave R2-D2 out because he always gets killed anyway. So maybe that's what we'll do on these bounty hunters, is an undermanned LSUFUR team. All right, let's kick it off with our favorite Nest. I think I made a team for her, didn't I? Yep. All right, let's get on in there. Point ourselves at Biggs and catch up on chat. Biggs Darklighter. He's actually considered a support for some reason. Like, he's one of the highest damage dealing rebels, and yet he's actually considered a support. Pretty interesting. Alright, we'll point it at him. Let's see what Fernando says. What work do you make? My regular job right now, I manage a factory. So we've got, about 90 people working at the factory on different shifts. It's a pretty small place. It's pretty lean. Just a few staff. Supervisor runs the shift. And we just come in there, do a good job, keep everybody safe, make a lot of money. That's how it goes. World nowadays gets offended easily. Can't say a word without the risk of insulting someone. Yeah. Even in storytelling, you know, if I say the wrong words in my story and the people get on me about something. So yeah, no, it's and part of it is valid though. I mean, part of it is valid. So when I think back to how we used to treat that girl when I was a kid, or how she used to be treated, it wasn't right, and somebody needed to stand up for her. And in this case, it was me. And I don't know that I made all that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things, but yeah, that kind of stuff was allowed, and it shouldn't be allowed. So in that case, I think society has leveled up in an appropriate way and taken a less tolerant stand on stuff like that. But like, there's a feminist movement where women are trying to gain more power, and then there's this anti-feminist movement where there's actually a group of guys that are trying to make it so that they say they're trying to make it equal again, but it really feels to me that they're trying to make it where that women can be mistreated and call it okay. So yeah, I don't understand that, but yeah, if you even if you say something that's pro-feminism, you could be attacked by somebody. And I think it was actually one of my videos, somebody said I was being misandrogynous, which is against men. So it's crazy. It's crazy what people will say these days, or won't say, or whatever. Clear the other side first. We want to see what's on the back wall first. I typically always want to see what's on the back wall before I go for the front wall. We want to glance at the back wall. All right. Let's try this with the Rey team. And we're going to kick out that little robot that always gets himself killed. We'll bring him back in when we need him, or, hey, maybe if this team works really well, then we can just not worry about leveling up the R2-D2. Don't know. Let's see. All right. So let's see. Who has the most turn meter? Looks like Zam is the fastest. All right. So let's do this. Give this to him. Let's do this. Give it over to Rey. Let's see. Maybe Bosk has turn meter, but I'm just going to hand wave him when he does. So let's go over here. Just do a basic wiggle with the robot. Call an assist. BB-8 will call another assist. Alright, that's good. Alright, we'll let them take a few turns, and then Rey's going to wave her hands. Or we'll just kill Bosk. I mean, he's almost dead already, so let's just get him out of here. We can grenade. 2 for the price of 1. Trade this over to him. Make sure he stays inspired. Do hand wave on Boba. I'll call it assist in case I need it. Alright, good stuff. We'll do this on BB-8. Let him wiggle again. Back around to the grenade. 59 banners. Best we could do. -2 +1. Alright, and here we're going to go for Revan. Revan's a pretty good counter for this Grievous team. Sometimes we get beat up pretty badly against these full relic teams, and then Jolie Bindo has to resurrect some people. Had it go wrong first. Oh, you meant the back wall. Alright, that's cool. I guess I just saw your comment too late. Rey will hand wave and Robot will do the wiggle. Great explanations. Yeah. Alright. Maybe a little too colloquial with my explanations, huh? Where do we want to be putting this damage? I would like to kill this battle droid, so let's see if we can get over there. Put some big hits down on him. Let's see if I can stun this droidica. Take him out of the picture for a minute. Alright, Revan, we need you to do your fancy mark and kill. Come on. Get me around to the mark, buddy. Send Yoda over. Oh! Revan down. Magna Guard down. Hermit Yoda's going down. Jolie Bindo is not at a convenient place on turn meter. Let's do this. Let's get some buffs up. Jolie can't get the buffs though. Do that. Come out of stealth. Hit this guy over here. Now we'll attempt to bring back some Jedi. Revan's going down again. Yikes. Alright, get on over there, Yoda. Just keep sending Yoda. Send him till it works. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. What can we do over here? Let's see if we can get this guy out of here before we... Oh, that's not going to help. Jolie needs to attack and keep his cooldowns rolling. Yeah. I don't think he's going to stay alive long enough to pull this one out. Nope. Zoinks. Zoinks. Battle dropping. Got turn meter wound up. Alright, let's do this. Let's go up top. And let's kill Rey. And make sure that that's going to go well. And that's going to tell us what we need to do with the bottom. I'm going to use some good tools here, if I can. Let's put in Watt. Let's put in the armorer. And then let's put in tanks. Let's see what we've got for tanks that we can put in. We've got that. We've got a first order tank, but I don't know if we want to just arbitrarily throw that in. Night Sister Zombie, but that doesn't really fit. We don't want to throw away Bosk. Don't want to give away Scion. We just lack a good tank to put in here. That's no good. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get some beefy characters to soak damage so that, you know, if Rey does her ult spread out a bunch of different characters, that, you know, there's a good chance that we can... Yeah. Where are we using our troopers? Let's verify where we're using the troopers. We don't have a We don't have a battle yet that has to be troopers. So we can take Gideon. We can take Gideon with us. I feel like that may already be a squad somewhere. Let's go try to pick a squad. It's already got what we need. Okay, fine. We need the tank. And we need Gideon. And we'll just use Gideon to help cut down the damage. Where is Gideon? There he is. We'll just use him to cut down the damage so that hopefully we can survive the first ult without everybody dying. Alright, let's get in there. How far are you from Rey? And what are the plans post Rey? I am pretty close on Rey, really. 3 characters left to relic, or 4? I can look after this. We'll do heroes. We'll just link the 2 heroes. And then we're gonna go ahead and start stacking the armor debuff on Rey. And we're gonna put this on the armorer. And we'll have the armorer go ahead and slide in for... yeah, let's do this. That gets another armor. Gets me another stack. Okay, lost my taunt. Now they're going to go after armorer. Okay. Let's, gain back some protection. Get these stacks onto the Emperor. Alright, first ult. Now we're just waiting for her to go and see how much stuff she kills. Okay. Alright, so she got the armor, but cutting down her damage did help us quite a bit. Watt stayed alive. And if we can keep this tank alive, that will be very good for us. Gain some protection back on the tank. Alright, now we got our ult. And we can just get rid of a few things. Alright, so now we're going to control him and Rey. And just kind of put it on auto. Wait for her to get done with her second ult. Alright, get back to full health and protection again. Oof! Alright, we gotta relink. We gotta relink, Papa. There we go. Relink. Alright, we should be good now. I don't think she can ult and kill us. She'll be gaining a little bit of mastery between now and then, but if she gets another ult, we should be in good shape. Okay, get her. Alright, Rey down. Finish up Holdo here. Oh, she went into damage immunity right in time for our big ult. That was nice. Okay, so that went well. We still have our SLKR. We don't have to use troopers. We can triumvirate this. We can answer that. Vader or a lot of things. Alright, so then with Grievous, I think what I'm going to do is I just want to clear the zone. So I'm just going to take in a team. It'll probably be low banners, but we're willing to take low banners on this just to clear it and see the back zone. So my troopers, at least one of them is going to die. Trigger the sacrifice on 5s. We'll try to get massacre on, or aerial advantage onto Grievous to try to close it out. Alright, the biggest advantage I can get right now is passing turn meter to him. So we'll do that. We'll just do a basic. They're going after Rex. Now they're going after Echo. I don't want to trigger... Yeah, no, I don't want to trigger yet. Let's go ahead and give him some life back. Power up. Get 5s to do his thing. Keep attacking this B1. Swap this over to Rex. And when Grievous goes, he'll... Okay, well, I guess when I go, I'll kill. Alright, 5s is out of here. He's had enough. He's taking a break. We should be able to finish out this Droideka. 5s passes his speed to these other characters, which I think is... I mean, I like that he passes his offense and all that stuff, but the fact that he also gives his speed stat to them and makes them, like, ridiculously fast is, it's OP. It's a pretty awesome thing. I just finished The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. That sounds interesting. How far away are you from Rey? Okay, we wanted to answer that question real quick. Let's look at the back wall, see what we got back here. Good, easy stuff. So not too hard. Good. Rey. Journey guide. Alright. Okay, so I got Resistance Trooper. I got these two that are in process for Relic. And then I've got Rose, Poe, and Resistance Trooper yet to do. R2-D2 is... Wait, what? What? What am I missing here? Resistance Trooper, Pilot, Poe Dameron. Yeah, R2-D2 is not part of this build. Why does he show up there? That's weird. So I have a total of 5 characters left to Relic, but 2 of them are already in progress for Relics. So those 2, and then 3 more, Rose, Poe, and Resistance. So probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Probably 8 weeks out, 2 months from getting my Rey. What's the plan afterwards? My plan afterwards has been to build a team with Rey that would be... create a new squad here. Let's go. Resistance. Rey, Scoundrels, Cat, Vandor. That's Clone Wars. Where's Vandor? What? Oh, I'm on a list that must have uniques only. Arg. So what I was going to do is Rey, Ahsoka Tano, Vandor, Queel, and IG-11. So Queel and IG-11, Vandor, Commander Ahsoka, and Rey. And I've been planning for that to be my team for a long time, and I see now where that's like, it's a thing with the Rey team now. So a lot of other people came to the same conclusion that I have, and other people are using that as a Rey team too. Alright, so this gives us some freedom. We've got an SLKR that we can use somewhere. Where do we want to use an SLKR? We got Geos we got to deal with. Let's figure out the Geos before we give up anything else. what do we want to do here? Just Vader the Geos, get him out of there. Something that Vader is still very good for, I think. We'll Vader the Geos. Get that done with. Clockwork Orange. Alright, let's do this. Do that. Get Spy out of here. Hit him. Hit him. I did Spy because there were not enough debuffs on the Brute Alpha. Do that. Do this. And then we should be able to call him, get an extra turn. Get rid of these guys. Soldier out. And finish them off. Geo's down. Did they steal a banner from me? 63. We're good. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about that. Mon Mothma was working well against this team, right? But Mon Mothma can't beat Nest. Yeah. Mon Mothma can't beat Nest, I don't think. We don't have enough single target damage. We can use the Bounty Hunters here. I think the Bounty Hunters will handle this quite easily. Yeah, so I think we Bounty Hunter this. That leaves us Triumvirate here. Something good here. We just want to Trooper this and get it done with. I think we could do that. Pick the Troopers. And, should we underdog it with Troopers? Underdog with Troopers or just regular Troopers? Ah, we'll just pile all in. Get it done. Let's see. Zach asked a question. Why don't you work on getting DR and Malik or Gas? Yeah, it's a question I've been asked before, and I see that Mata McCurry has it pretty much correct. Why would I work on those characters when I can still work on Galactic Legends? I mean, would you rather have a Malik or would you rather have Galactic Legend Rey? I'd rather have Galactic Legend Rey. Oops, wasn't paying attention. We needed to link that Dark Trooper. That's alright, though. I don't think it'll cost us too much in the end. Let's try to kill Wampa. Alright, got him. Do some big damage here. Finish this out. 60 banners. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Put the Triumvirate up here. Select squad. Triumvirate. Continue. Get in there. Go. DR and Malik are insanely good. They kept my crystal afloat until I got C. Well, Nick Wilson, imagine that you already have C, because I already have C. So I don't need that. It's not a matter of right and wrong. So please, for people who are watching or for people who are asking, please don't try to make this a matter of right or wrong. Is it right that I'm skipping Darth Revan, that I'm not going back around for gas? Is it right? I don't care. I'm building Galactic Legends. After I build Rey, I may go back for Revan. I may not. I may just keep focusing, keep going down the path, and try to get myself all the way to Kenobi. I mean, I don't know. But for me, the path that I've chosen is the path of the Galactic Legend. So I may just do Galactic Legends until I have them all. And that doesn't make it right or wrong. And people may say, well, that's the wrong choice. Okay. That's what I keep trying to tell everybody, that there's 100 choices to be made in this game, and I don't know that any of them are necessarily right or wrong. I do know that when I have a galactic legend advantage over my opponent, my GACs feel totally different. When they only have 1 and I have 2, it feels different. If I have 3 and they have 2, it'll feel like I'm winning. If I have 4 and they have 3. So the more galactic legends I get into my account, the more everything else becomes academic. And that's what I'm shooting for. More flexibility, more possibility. Alright, Triumvirate takes that first order down. Got a little close on Nihilus there for a while. I thought he was going to kick the bucket or purchase the farm, but he actually didn't. Made it all the way through. Good on him. Alright, what do we got left? We said we probably want the bounty hunters down here in case we need to execute Nest. And that leaves Mon Mothma for up here. I think Mon Mothma's got this pretty comfortably. Let's look at the Mon Mothma team. Let's get him in there. We have SLKR though. Holy cow. We still have SLKR. Wow. Yikes. Yeah, a solo is definitely better than 5 characters. Which one of these teams is more threatening? And this doesn't even feel like a threat. We'll take bounty hunters in here with 4 and be fine. I mean, we can do this and get rid of Boba Fett. Right? And we'll just steamroll him. Underdog. Get on in there. DR and Malik are insanely good in 3v3 though. So is Rey. So is Rey. Turns out she's really good in 3v3. Okay, taunt up. All we have to do is have buffed people taking an action. Alright. We'll have more buffed people taking an action. More buffed people taking an action. Pick off Wat Tambor. With this mass assist, we should make the contract. Okay. And we can just poof the nest right now. Get her out of here. Make that an irrelevant kind of a thing. Retaunt. Okay. Yeah. He should lose his damage immunity now. Get on in there. Oh, she's dazed. Gotta use grief as an assist. We'll just do this. Get him out of there. Finish it off. Try to top off our banners. I got close enough. 61. If I go for Lord Vader, I would need gas. That's correct. Yep. Okay, but you need to get Darth Revan at some point. But do I? Why? Why do I need Darth Revan? What do I need Darth Revan for? Explain me this. I don't need him for anything. He's dead to me. I'm saying that just to get people going. No, he's a good character. It's fine. He's a good character. But, yeah, I mean, if I look at my defenses, I have good defenses. If I had DR, would I have one more good defense or would I have one more good offensive team? I could. Yeah, one or the other. But if I had Rey and then I had Kenobi and I didn't have Darth Revan, does that look better Or does it look better to have Rey and then Darth Revan and not Kenobi? Which would you guys rather have, Darth Revan or Galactic Legend Kenobi? Alright, so we've got a Raddus here. We can do Malevolence on the Raddus, and we can do Finalizer on the Home 1 fleet. Finalizer works really well against Home 1 because you have the initial missile and your ships go so fast. You put that missile onto the Millennium Falcon and you pretty much debilitate the fleet from there. So the other fleet was Raddus, huh? Okay. We'll do it this way. Do the standard 2 reinforcements with our Finalizer fleet. GL Kenobi, obviously, says Nick Wilson. He's too good to ignore. BTLB and Rebel Y-Wing. Alright, Han Solo, you can take a missile. Right on the nose. You can take a big hit. And then you can take an assist, which kills you. Thanks for playing. We want to stun the Rebel Y-Wing if we can, so we'll pass turn meter over here. Get a stun going on. Alright. Taunt on everything. We're going to steal the turn meter from here and take a big hit on this guy. We'll put damage over times on ourselves. Kylo's damage ramps by 15% every time he takes damage. So putting the damage over time on him means that at the beginning of his turn he takes damage. So we put the damage over time on ourselves in order to increase his damage. Pretty weird, but that's how the tactic works. Alright, we got Biggie Boy in here now. The Bigs Man. Alright, let's get him out of here. Assist again with the silencer. Pass it over, finish it off. 64? 63. We good. Alright, Raddus. Take our 6-star General Grievous. We will look for some Separatists. Pick a droid, pick a Sunfac, pick a spy. And we'll go ahead and use just a couple more. Well, should we continue to underdog it? I don't think we'll need more than this. But let's see. We have one more tank that we could bring in. We have 2 more tanks, actually. We could do this. Be super cheesy. Probably can't lose that battle, right? Alrighty, let's get in there. I'm only 2 ships away from finishing requirements for Finalizer. Nice. Alright, Rey Scavenger. Let's stun the Resistance pilot. Pick Rey Scavenger and let's take the dodge off of her. We'll put the buzz droids on everybody. Okay. Let's just focus on her. Focus on the Rey. Okay, that's done. Now let's spit out some buzz droids onto this guy. Come in with that spy. Get a mass assist. We'll kill something. Well, let's kill the Resistance pilot. Get him out of here. And we'll take out their stall tactic with the Raddus. Stall until you kill my ship? I think not. Alright, let's kill this first. Take that off of there, get another little vulture droid. Oh, nope, we were full on inventory. I didn't get a vulture droid for that. Whoopsie. Alright, and there we go, finishing it off. I don't know what I should go for after finishing SLKR. You should go after Kenobi. I've been looking at this Kenobi thing, and his galactic journey is an easy build. This is another video that I'm going to probably be doing here shortly. But if you look at the journey guide for... Yeah, let's switch over to the Loquitur account. Because you can see on the Loquitur account already how easy this is. You come into Kenobi, and you say, okay, begin journey. All right, you select that. Then you can go into your collection and go down to journey guide here, and you can see the characters that are in Kenobi's journey guide. We've already worked on 5 of these characters anyway. If we have to relic Clone Sergeant, he's got a ship that we're using, so that's good. Jango Fett's a good character. He has to go to Relic 8. He has to go to Relic 8. He's the captain of a capital ship, and he's a great character. We don't care about those. Watan Border Relic 7 is good. So this top line, we're already good. Grievous, want to build him anyway. Magna Guard, no problem. Cody isn't that great. Bo-Katan's kind of floating. Mace Windu, whatever. So that's not that exciting. But accessible, right? I got shards for everything here already except Bo-Katan. Shaak Ti is a character we're going to want to build anyway. Cad Bane's not bad. Qui-Gon Jinn can be okay in the Jedi team. Aayla Secura can be okay in the Jedi team. So there's not even that much trash. Like, if you get your first Galactic Legend, get into a guild that can do C-Pit, start accessing resources to get you to Relic 8s, Kenobi just fits right on top of that. With a whole bunch of stuff that you want anyway. So, it's a great bridge. It's a great next thing to do. There you go. Take a look at that. Take a look at that, Revan MTY. Take a look at your Kenobi. That may be very well what you want to go for after your SLKR. If they come out with Galactic Legend Revan, I'll be all over that. JKR, Darth Revan are nostalgic for a lot of people due to the KOTOR games. But they aren't needed for GLs, and that means that more people will ignore them in the future. Yeah, and again, guys, I challenge people's thinking. And I don't think like other people think. Whether that's right or wrong, good or bad, who's the judge, right? Sometimes what I do is better. Sometimes what I do may be statistically worse. But, you know, people come into my account and they see no Revan, they see no Malak, they see no C-3PO, no gas. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff missing. But I don't know. It's hard for me. Even the Ewoks, it's hard for me to gear an Ewok because instead of gearing this Ewok, I could be gearing a Bad Batch for the Lord Vader journey. I could be gearing, you know, the stuff for the Kenobi journey. Like what I use this gear for, I could use the gear for something else. Same thing for my recommended squad up here. It says, you know, hey, you know, go for Darth Revan. We really want you to go for Darth Revan, right? But everything that I could build up these characters, that gear could be used to build up characters to make Kenobi. So why would I build these characters when I get Darth Revan? Instead, I could build characters and get Galactic Legend Kenobi. So that's my thought process. And doesn't necessarily make sense to a lot of people, but it does to me. If we go into Grand Arena and we look at my opponent, I don't know if you all realize this, but once you get to a certain level, everything is formulaic. When I go into these guys' accounts, 1 or 2 GLs, Gas, Revan, Grievous, Jedi Knight Luke, people just all have the exact same thing. It's like everybody has agreed what's good to build, and they only build what's good. And I'm telling you, for my galactic power, time and time and time again, I beat these accounts. Because they've just formulaically built what's good. I've done something different, and what I'm doing is beating this. Right? Whatever it is that I'm doing is doing better than this standard formula. And you could say, well, maybe you're just a better player, or maybe you've got better mods, or, you know, there's other differentiating factors. But statistically, these accounts with the gas, the Luke, the Revans, Malik, Commander Luke Skywalker, all Zetaed up, these formula accounts, time and time again, we win against these. So, I don't know. I think for a new player, if you build Revans first, it's a very good thing. If you build a Galactic Legend and then right away circle around to get Revans, it's a good thing. If you build a Galactic Legend and then you build another Galactic Legend, the third thing you should do is build the Executor or build another Galactic Legend. I don't know that you ever have to go back around for Revans. Anyway, my thoughts. I feel like I'm talking way too much about this. People are probably sick of hearing it. I'm now heading for JMK. He has good characters. Yeah, Placebo Fan, that's good. I wonder Qui-Gon Jinn lead with relics is something you could use. Requires Zetas though, yikes. Qui-Gon Jinn is not bad, you know. He's like a BC kind of character. He's one of those characters that he's not bad, but there's so many other Jedi that are better than him that if you build a standard Jedi team, you wouldn't build him. But if you've got to build him anyway for the Galactic Legend requirements, for sure he can go into a like, let's say your second Jedi team is just a Bastila-led relic team. You could have Bastila Shan, Relic Qui-Gon, Relic Mace, Relic Aayla Secura, and you know, maybe like a Hermit Yoda or something like that to make it harder to beat, and just throw that on defense somewhere. And with 4 Relic Jedis and the support from Hermit Yoda, and Bastila's leadership is no joke. That is a ton of extra protection. It probably won't win. It probably won't hold. But your opponent's going to have to bring in something salty to beat that. Because Qui-Gon Jinn can do a lot of damage. Bastila can call an assist from Aayla Secura. She can stun the heck out of all kinds of stuff. So, teams like that, you just take the requirements, you sew them together into a team that your opponent has to play against. They have to throw good characters up against it to win. And, you know, it's not an A tier thing, but it's like a BC tier thing. And you put it on defense, and you make your opponent use at least a B tier team to kill it. You know, something good. He's also support, so he could make a decent team for Conquest. Yeah, Conquest loves Jedis. Zach says if you are gearing Bad Batch for Lord Vader, then you need to get C-3PO anyway, since gas is required for C-3PO. I'm not going for Lord Vader right away, but right now there is light side. You know, the event is giving you free stuff off of light side, and the farms that I need for my relic characters, I need dark side stuff for these characters. I need stun guns for everybody, or some of these things, which I'll get out of challenges and whatnot. But stun guns are all dark side. There's a bunch of dark side stuff. So I favorited up all of the Bad Batch because look at this. It's all light side farming, right? So if I have to farm light side, what's something fun to farm on light side? Well, let's take a look at these Bad Batch guys. Just farm them all on light side during the event. My main account's in a little better position. I don't have to stay ultra focused on stuff like I do on my Loquitur account. So yeah, for light side, for this event week, I just pulled up all the Bad Batch, and we're just starting to accumulate some shards on these guys. Wrecker, we have a lot of shards on because they stuck him here with the BTLB Y-Wing, and we still don't have that ship finished. So we've been farming that node for a while to try to finish that ship. So we're going to have we're going to have a completed wrecker first. But I may build these characters up a little bit and build up a big wrecker and then build these guys up maybe to gear 9, gear 10, something like that. And this team can punch up. So once I figure out how to use this team, if we build this, get it to like gear 10, gear 11, something like that, relic the wrecker, I think we can take out some good teams with it. Maybe some Night Sisters. I don't know. I have to take a look at that. But I think we can make a good offensive team out of this, even before these guys get to 7 stars. Just a background thing. There's my Vandor that I'm working on for my Rey team. See, SLKR, Executor, and JMK sounds like a good 5-year plan to me. It does, doesn't it? I think Sith Eternal into Executor. Probably, if it's a new account, C, JMK, Executor. And then from building the Executor, you'll already have the bounty hunters that you need to start with the SLKR journey for the ship part of it for Finalizer. So, yeah, those 4 things. I don't think in the order that you've got them there. I think I would do JMK as the second thing. I think I would do 1 Galactic Legend, either C or SLKR, then JMK, then come back for the Executor, and then finish out SLKR. I think that's how I would do it. But yeah, Nick Wilson, that's it sounds like a good 5-year plan, but after 3 years has passed, it'll all be different, and it won't be so certain what to do by then anyway. So things will change. For sure they'll change. Like if I'd made a 2-year plan 2 years ago, it'd be out the window by now with all the changes that they've made. Alrighty guys, well, we've had a chat, we've had a story today, we've had a couple good Grand Arena rounds, some good fights. Dropped a battle to Grievous today, but other than that, I think we did pretty good. I guess we dropped that battle on Padme and had to clean that up too. So 2 drop battles, 1 in each Grand Arena, but otherwise pretty clean play today. And good stories. I'm feeling a little better than I felt the past few streams, so that's good too. Alrighty, y'all, I'm going to cut it off here. Join us over on the Discord if you haven't done that already. The Discord is really good community. It's an awesome place. It's fun. We got a lot of cool people over there. You can ask questions, get questions answered. Experienced players are over there answering questions. I'll answer questions, you know. Good community. So come join us on the Discord if you haven't already. Hit your like sabers if you haven't done that. It helps me, helps the channel grow, helps more people see my content. So please hit that like saber if you haven't done that. And don't forget, farm your mods, boys and girls. All right. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you in the next holocron.